We're finally here. Jim's been wanting to come here all weekend. So Jimmy, you pleased with your purchases?
Well, yes I am.
You want to show us what you got?
My proof sets.
From the mint. Now show me each one and tell me what it is. Hold it up so I can see it.
Well, this is just a general proof set. Backs.
Oh, okay.
State quarter proof set.
Uh-huh.
And presidential dollar proofs.
Oh. Tell me about who's buried here.
To the Christ Church burial ground. This is at 5th and Arch, Philadelphia. Established in 1719. This is the final resting place of 4,000 people, all members of Christ Church, including Benjamin Franklin, Joseph Hughes, George Ross, Francis Hopkinson, and Dr. Benjamin Rush. Also, Dr. William Camac, the man who founded the Philadelphia Zoo, John Dunlap, who printed the Declaration of Independence, Commodore Bainbridge, and many, 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 many.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Right, thank
What's
you.
your name?
John Hopkins, and I'm in charge of the graveyard.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
And the money that we pay to get in
All
goes...
the money that we make here goes back into preserving the graveyard for future generations to be able to come in here and enjoy the history of the United States.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This graveyard in the middle of the city, with so many important people buried here. The body of Benjamin Franklin printer, like the cover of an old book, its contents torn out, and scripts of its lettering and gilding lies here, food for worms. But the work shall not be lost, for it will, as he believed, appear once more in a new and more elegant edition, corrected and improved by the author. This epitaph was written by Franklin as a young man, was not intended to be used. His nearby gravestone was prepared in exact accordance with the instructions contained in his will. Benjamin and Deborah Franklin, 1790. Did they die at the same time? And is there a reason there are coins sitting on this grave?
I see coins on a number
That's
of them.
interesting.
I don't know what's up with that.
Wow. You can't, these words are so worn away. Wow. I'll tell you, we've been to a lot of really old graveyards, and I know that might sound like an odd thing to do when you travel, but graveyards are so interesting. And these right here, you can't even read. You can't even read the gravestones. It's interesting. Is the water table high here? Because you don't usually see this many above ground crypts.
Don't forget, the waterways 200, 300 years ago were different than they are now. Washington, D.C. is completely different than it was 200 years ago.
That's true, that's true. Because like when we were in the Keys and...
Most of the mall in Washington, D.C. and where Lincoln Memorial is was all water originally.
Ooh, this looks like it could be an altar for some kind of pagan rite. And that's where we just were at the Mint. Joe Bacon's family vault. What are they all in there? Can you imagine? It's such a great, I love this shot.
That one.
This view. Look at those really worn down gravestones. Dr. Benjamin Rush was a signer of the Declaration of Independence and father of American psychology, and this is his tomb.